Oyo State. Together, we will explore the pulse of Makinde's governance, the mechanisms of accountability, and the politics behind progress. Since assuming office in 2019, Governor Seyi Makinde has positioned himself as a reform-minded leader, as they will say, championing education, infrastructure, economic growth, and fiscal transparency. But in the world of politics, perception is as powerful as performance. Is the governor's roadmap for accelerated development truly delivering results? That's a question we are going to ask today. How does the PDP interpret opposition criticism, internal party dynamics, and the expectations of the electorate? Today's conversation with Honorable Michael Ogunshina promises to shed light on how the Makinde-led administration is navigating the complex intersections of governance, accountability, and political realities in Oyo State. Good evening once again. The show is the Poliscope. I am Samson Balogun, and with me in the studio this evening is Honorable Michael Ogunshina. Good to have you in the studio.
Thank you, Samson. It's wonderful being here again, and good day to all our listeners all over the world, viewers and listeners all over the world. Thank you for having me.
My introduction on this show, some say Governor Makinde is synonymous to infrastructural development in the state, but some say this is debatable.
Well, anybody that says that Governor Seyi Makinde's performance is debatable has apparently not been or lived in this state. If you look at what we have witnessed in Oyo State in the last 6 years, it's actually unprecedented. It's not something, it is visible to the blind, you know. It is very audible to the deaf. Everybody can see good works. Everybody can see meaningful progress. Everybody can see that our state is working, Oyo State is developing massively under Governor Seyi Makinde. And you see, compared to where we are coming from, in fact, there is no basis for comparison. The 6 years of Governor Seyi Makinde has trumped whatever years the past governors before him had used. If you look at from 1999, our nascent return to democracy, right? We have seen very amazing works. You've seen very phenomenal work. You've seen hard work. You've seen us shown unparalleled commitment to democracy. You have seen Seyi Makinde show unparalleled commitments to people-focused leadership. For example, part of the indices we use to measure security, to measure a state's progress is number one, security. So this evening, I'll talk about security, I'll talk about education, I'll talk about infrastructure, and I'll probably talk about our economy too. So let's get into it briefly. Now, if you look at, let's start from security. When we came on board, when we came on board in 2019, I remember vividly that on 2 occasions, our campaign train in 2019, we were attacked at Ojo Shasha by political, maybe hired killers, I call them, maybe people who were contracted by the ruling party then, the APC government then, to annihilate and lay mayhem on Governor Seyi Makinde and the campaign train. Now, we escaped by the whiskers. As a matter of fact, the Seyi Makinde bus then was riddled with bullets. That was the situation that we met in your state. We had the 1 million boys terrorizing our state. We had plenty security crisis. It was so serious that under the late Governor Ajimobi, a sitting assembly member, Honorable Gideon, was killed right in this state, in the capital city. Was murdered. Security was almost in a state of, I don't want to say comatose, but it was in a very sorry state. It was a very, very sorry state. And I remember that it's very unfortunate that at some point in that particular administration, the Ajimobi-led administration, the current Minister of Power was the chairman of the State Security Trust Fund. It is not time for politics, so I don't want to do politics yet now, because I would have loved to draw from his failure in that particular time, but it is not yet time for that. So if you look at it, when we came on board, first thing we did, within our first 100 days in office, we bought 100 vehicles for security agencies, and we fitted it with a modern security gadgets in order for us to ensure that Oyo State people are more safe, Oyo State people are actually very secured. And you see, something 6 years on, if you look at it now, you realize that Oyo State is one of the safest states to stay in Nigeria.
That's a bold claim.
That is the fact.
Some say Governor Seyi Makinde is slow to react to security challenges.
If you look at MBS statistics, MBS is not an agency by your state government. We don't pay them salaries. And they're supposed to be independent researchers. They have said it that amidst the 6 southwestern states, Oyo State is safest to stay. Safest to stay. And let me also use this privilege to also thank Governor Seyi Makinde for his commitment to the local and western security network codenamed Amotekun. Are you aware that Governor Seyi Makinde is the governor that has employed the highest number of Amotekun officers in the southwest? He is the governor that has empowered Amotekun officers the most. Today in Oyo State, we are not at the mercy of kidnappers or banditry or cattle rustlers. Or, this state is actually relatively safe compared to other states in the southwest. Courtesy of the very brilliant commitment of Governor Seyi Makinde to security. I'm sure you're also aware that very recently, not too long ago, Governor Seyi Makinde actually approved the purchase of 2 aircrafts, 2 helicopters, and the major work of the helicopters will be for security surveillance to be sure that our state is safe and we know what we're doing. You see, if you look at it before now, everybody is complaining about security, boys everywhere. In fact, I remember that before Governor Seyi Makinde became the governor, garage violence, motor garage violence was the order of the day. But look at what Governor Seyi Makinde did with wisdom, with panache, with intelligence, with brilliance, absolute brilliance. Look at how we permanently solved the perennial garage violence crisis. And now you can say that in your state, there is no fear of a government is coming in and you are rushing to maim and kill and annihilate people to take over garages. No, solving complex security problem in the most relatable and simple manner. Let's go into our infrastructure.
Before you go into that, there are insinuations that the governor, goes into favoritism and political appointments. But of course, before we do that, we'll go on a short break. And when we return, the show continues. The show is still the Poliscope on Dominion Television. We'll be back after this time out.
Ever dreamed of creating the next virus series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV. Make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
All right, welcome back. The show is still the Poliscope on Dominion Television. And I have had with me in the studio, I still have with me in the studio, Honorable Michael Ogushino. He is the PDP spokesperson in Oyo State. And of course, the conversation continues. As I said earlier, do not forget that you can join the conversation by linking up with us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast. And on X, formerly Twitter, at Dominion Cast. Now, some have made accusations against the governor. Despite being PDP governor, Makinde has often been seen as politically isolated from the national PDP leadership. His role in the G5 or integrity group, as he called it, and his other colleagues the other time called it, and his non-alignment during the 2023 presidential election strained relationships with party stalwarts, This has raised questions about his political bridge building skills beyond Oyo State. And he wants to be president. How is he going to do that?
By the way, Samson, I'm sure that Governor Shemakinde has not said it anywhere. I'm certain.
His poster is out there.
Wait. I'm certain. See, anybody can do posters. In fact, let me answer that to you, actually. Number one, I've seen plenty presidents, and believe me, I have sat down with many First Republic, Second Republic, Third Republic politicians in the States, and I've engaged them. I've asked them, what do you think about the Seyi Makinde administration? And they told me that Seyi Makinde is a mixture of Akintola, Awolowo, and Bola Ige joined together. He's that smart. You know, Seyi Makinde is an avid reader, and he's a man that respects culture, that understands our people, that understands the psyche of an average Westerner, of an average Southern person. Today, if you're mentioning one person that has shown commitment to democracy, and I mean real democracy, in the truest meaning of it, to give it to Seyi Makinde. Now, what do I mean? By the time we came on board, let me remind you that the only state that was a PDP state, there was no state in the Southwest that was PDP. As of 2019, when we came on board, the entire 6 states in the Southwest were ruled by APC governors. Governor Seyi Makinde, through his wisdom, sheer brilliance, and political management skills, in using your word now, in his mastery of the political bridge building, he actually emerged as a coalition candidate. And particular government, every coalition force that worked with us to become the governor for your state actually had their share in government.
Is the Governor Makinde still a member of the PDP?
Wait now, so who?
Is he still a member of the PDP?
I can tell you for a fact, today is 6th of August 2025. Governor Seyi Makinde is the leader of the PDP in the Southwest geopolitical zone. There is no contention.
There are insinuations in town.
Wait, again, about his presidential aspirations. Let me answer this. Maybe it's a question in your heart too. You see, the governor has not said it to anybody that he wants to become president. It is the Nigerians that are seeing the kind of work Governor Seyi Makinde is doing in Oyo State. You see, I'm very active on social media, and I've seen Nigerians say that, Governor Seyi Makinde, please organize a leadership seminar. Let our governors come. Organize a governor's retreat. Come and teach our governors how to do
And it was Nigerians that made the poster.
Wait, I'm not even done yet. And don't forget that Governor Seyi Makinde's leadership skill was so good that a whole president, Sierra Leone president, came here for IT, came here to understand what we're doing with agriculture. So Nigerians from the southeast, north central, northwest, and everywhere in the country that are seeing the brilliance, that are seeing the way, the excellence at which Governor Seyi Makinde has ruled Oyo State, they are the ones saying, Oga, if it can be this good for your state people, we need this kind of brilliance, this kind of agility, this kind of intelligence at national level. Please come and be our president. You will not see any of, there is not, and this is about less than 2 years to the election. There is no Seyi Makinde presidential campaign council. If there was, I will be part of it. I'm a member of the particular family. So I'm telling you today that even if Governor Seyi Makinde, I'm not denying or confirming, but I'm telling you that if Governor Seyi Makinde has presidential ambition, I will come back here to tell you. But as of this morning, my principal hasn't told anybody that he wants to become Nigerian president.
Michael Ogunshino, away from there is a presidential aspiration.
And by the way, Governor Seyi Makinde is very qualified to become president.
There are insinuations in town that Makinde's administration has been accused by opposition for tampering with local government autonomy.
Okay.
The delay in conducting local government elections after dissolving the previous council sparked criticism and legal battles. Now, how is Governor Makinde handling local government autonomy in
Okay, so let me start from where you stopped, right? Before I start that particular question, you said the delay in conducting local government election. There is nothing that could be more further from the truth than that particular statement. Probably didn't do your research comprehensively. Let's go back to the data. The administration we took over from, the Ajimobi-led APC administration, for 8 years, 96 months, they did not conduct an election for 7 years. They did not conduct an election for 7 years. About a year to the expiration of that, their ill-fated tenure, they had a kangaroo illegal election.
That's a bold claim.
And of course,
they had legal battles.
My name is Michael.
The Adebayo Alao Akala-led administration.
My name is Michael Ogunshino. This is why I have a name and I have an office. And they know I'm not saying that. I'm not lying.
The Adebayo Alao Akala-led administration left a legal battle for the next administration.
So this is it. The fact remains, for 7 years, what we had in our local government were caretaker chairmen, right? And then they created problem, created cancers and diabetes and different kind of diseases in many local governments. As a matter of fact, as I then became on board in 2019, many local governments were holding their salaries, were holding their staff salaries when we came on board. Because our government is a smart, forward-thinking governor that believes in administration. Let me tell you, in 6 years, we have conducted 2 local government elections.
Now,
wait,
let me ask you, before you complete
administration
that,
in 7 years, in 8 years, conducted 1 illegal one at almost the expiration of their
before
tenure.
you complete that,
but we, in 6 years, we have done two elections.
Before you complete that, was there an election in Oyo State, local government election?
I can tell you for a fact, April 27, 2024, there was a free, fair, credible elections.
Do we have local government chairmen in Oyo State?
Of course, and they're active, they're working.
They are active.
Please,
they are working. Do they have access to their funds?
How do you define access to funds? Let me tell you something.
There are insinuations that the governor gives them peanuts, and then they can't even sit with the governor to have meetings.
Samson Balogun.
There's an intermediary between local government chairman
Samson Balogun.
And the governor.
Wait now. What makes Governor Seyi Makinde the governor for your state is what? It's the law of Nigeria, right? The Constitution of the Federal Republic made him the governor. That Constitution says that there will be a joint account by the local government and the state government. That Constitution says that the legislation that actually regulates the activities of the local government chairman is the state assembly.
Honorable Michael,
so wait, when you are saying autonomy, you see, I did a bit of English while on campus, right? And I understand insinuations, and I know how to hear what people are not saying. It's very clear. If you're talking about autonomy, let's go back to the Constitution. Give them full autonomy. There is nothing called financial autonomy without administrative autonomy. And let me tell you, even at that, even with all of these bottlenecks, with all of this legal imbroglio, with all of this fracas and quagmire created by the Constitution of Nigeria, Seyi Makinde's local government chairman, they have excelled more than all the past local government chairman we've had in this state.
Honorable Michael Ogushina, before we go, let me put this to you, and I'll ask you this question.
And I'll give you facts.
Why is it just you that goes out for interviews? Why are your local government chairman running away from interviews? Why are they not out there? What are your commissioners doing? What are your SSAs doing? What are your SAs doing? They are not coming out for interviews.
So Samson Balogun, well, I agree with that fact that maybe we can do better, because again, we have done so much. We have done so much. We have covered so many land. We've covered so many masts in 6 years, more than any previous governors in this state.
Should be how to defend that.
And I don't know why we're not doing that. But even at that, I know that there are a lot of things involved, and at our level 2, we're trying to ensure that even as we race towards the political year, you will see us come out and engage the media more often.
So you only come out when there's an election?
No, actually, the governments we're running, it is not like the previous government. We're not running a media government. It's not a government that will do a project with 1 million and spend 10 million to promote it. No. What we're doing it for the people, and we expose the people. For example, I remember that in this same state that we have, when a governor is about to approve 23 kilometers of road, like Governor Seyi Makinde did yesterday, the Okaka road that leads to Kunle-Afolayan Films Village. Do you know what past governors will do? They will host a town hall meeting with fanfare and call musicians and DJs and call political people there and say we have just approved 23 kilometers of road. You remember that a particular governor in this state actually did a road from Iseyin to Iseyin. You remember? And that particular road was a campaign matter. Today, that same road, about 80 kilometers federal government road, Governor Seyi Makinde has renovated that road. It is now, in fact, in 2019 elections, let me remind you, when we are doing 2019 campaigns, from Shaki to, when we went to Shaki for campaign, from Shaki to Ibadan, we used about 5 hours thereabout. 5 hours thereabout. Today, Governor Seyi Makinde has fixed that road. And in 2 hours, 30 minutes, if you drive slowly like myself, you'll be in Ibadan. Now, but you don't see us go on media and say, we have done this much. Wait, you don't see us go. You see that these days, and if you're following my engagement, we're not talking about this you have done for Lautech, this you have done for Lautech. What we promised to your state people is not to come and dance before them and say, no, we have done this. What we told them is that our second term is an era of sustainable development. And if it is sustainable, let's leave noise. We can still make the noise when it is time. For now, our focus, our priority is delivering good governance, excellent service to the people of Oyo State as we have promised them.
This conversation has not ended.
Okay.
We are still coming back as we have this conversation. There are accusations against the governor.
Please
and
bring
you'll
it
be
on,
here
bring
to
it on.
defend
Bring
them.
it on, bring it on, bring
And
it
I
on.
do hope
Bring it on.
that you go back
Bring it
and
on.
tell your commissioners to come out for interviews. Tell your local government chairman to come out for interviews.
If you want to meet
if they are really
commissioners,
performing, they should be here.
Wait something. Samson, let me tell you something. Every ministry has information officers and they are civil servants. And they are collecting salaries every month, at least for them to defend whatever it is happening in their ministries. If you are writing to the commissioners, please invite the IOs too. The information officers.
All right,
we'll
do just that.
Yes, talk to
Thank
them.
you, Honorable Michael.
Thank you, Samson, for
being on
inviting
this
me.
show.
Thank you.
We'll do that next time we call you, you'll be here.
Thank you.
I'll do what you do.
I'll come.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And of course, that brings us to the end of this segment of the show. This is the Poliscope. A big thank you to Honorable Michael Ogunshina for his insight into inner workings of the PDP in Oyo State and the administration of the Governor Seyi Makinde. Whether you see him as a technocratic leader, a political strategist, or both, one thing is certain: the story of governance in Oyo State is still being written. Join us next time on this show when we have Honorable Michael Ogunshina to talk about Nigerian political spectrum. And of course, it's a conversation, one at a time. Samson Balogun is my name. We'll go on a short break now. And when we return, the show continues. This is the Poliscope.
Ever dreamed of creating the next virus series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV, make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
All right, welcome back from that short break. The show is still the Poliscope on Dominion Television. And of course, this is where we pierce through the noise and expose the issues that shape our nation. Tonight, we spotlight a bitter truth, bleeding Nigeria dry, the scourge of waste and misappropriation in governance, from bloated budgets and white elephant projects to unaccounted funds and recurring audits, red flags. Nigeria's governance structure continues to hemorrhage resources that could transform lives. How did we get here? Who is responsible? And what hope remains for a nation that seems to reward impunity and inefficiency? We ask the hard questions because the time for silence has long passed. Samson Balogun is my name once again. My guest on this second segment of the show is a seasoned Nigerian lawyer, politician, author, and a public policy advocate who hails from Shaki in Oyo State. He began his political career in the year 1979 as the youngest member of the Oyo State House of Assembly. He later served as Commissioner for Information and Attorney General in Oyo State. He was Nigeria's Minister of Communications from 2015 to 2019 under late President Muhammadu Buhari, where he championed ICT development and digital infrastructure. He's a prolific Islamic scholar. He has authored over 13 books on religion and governance beyond politics. He is involved in education and business. He has continued to influence national discourse on governance, law, and ethical leadership. is a prominent figure within the All Progressives Congress, the APC, Barrister Abdurrahim Adebayo Shitu. Good to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, let's go through the timeline of corruption and waste in Nigeria. Corruption isn't new to Nigeria. It's almost a recurring headline. But when scandals go unresolved and perpetrators walk free, they morph into national tragedies. Now, in 2003, the NDDC Ghost Project scandal, billions allocated for Niger Delta Development Project vanished into thin air. Many contracts paid for with nothing on the ground. In 2007, the power probe, over $16 billion allegedly spent on power projects under the Obasanjo administration, yielded darkness instead of light. 2011, police pension fraud. A director in the police pension office was accused of embezzling over 24 billion naira. The court fined him just 750,000 naira. In 2014, missing $20 billion in the NNPC, the then CBN governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi raised alarm over missing oil funds. To date, no definitive resolution. In 2016, that was Dasuki Gate, arms procurement funds meant to fight terrorism, $2.1 billion US, diverted for political campaigns under former NSA Sambo Dasuki. In 2020, Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC again, the infamous I Took an Oath drama revealed 81 billion naira spent in less than a year without proper accountability. Now, let's go to 2021. Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Questions over 2.6 billion naira school feeding funds reportedly spent during lockdown. Who spent the money? In 2023, Betadu, the NISIPA scandal. Funds meant for the poorest of the poor, as they call it in Nigeria now. There's a gap between the rich and the poor, where allegedly the money was moved into personal accounts. Investigations still pending. Asylum takings. These are just highlights. Behind every scandal is a generation robbed of basic infrastructure, education, healthcare, and hope. But first, in what many are calling political comedy or calculated confusion, there's a lot to talk about on this show. Barrister Abdurrahim Adebayo Shitu, good to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for bringing to highlight this very, very germane issue which affects very seriously our national development.
You have been there. You are a former minister. You saw it as it happens. You are in government. You have been in government for some time. You are a former member of the House of Assembly. How did we get here?
Well, I think the problem is the Nigerian factor in all of us. Because it's unfortunate that to be incorruptible in Nigeria has become problematic. Because you are usually seen as being stupid when you refuse to get corrupted. I recall that when I left office in 2019, and my people in Shaki discovered that I've not amassed wealth. Some people were making fun of me, telling some others that when I became appointed as a minister, they requested me to come for training in how to steal government money, and that I refused. Of course, I don't have any apology. The stupidity in stealing government money is that death does not give notice. Every human being has an expiry date, just like drugs or medicines have expiry dates. I've known of somebody who was reported to have stolen more than 40 billion. And before being able to spend up to 5% of that amount, he lost his life. The Bible asks, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his life? Also in Islam, the Prophet ﷺ has said, any flesh nourished by haram food, that is illegal food, food means monies and all of that, such flesh which is nourished by illegal resources will not enter Jannah, that is paradise. So it is foolhardy for people to steal. When they steal so much, I always ask myself, do they think those of us who have not stolen are not living in this same world? Would they, eat more than 3 times a day? They steal senselessly what they don't even need. But because there are no consequences in Nigeria, it is fanciful for people to just steal like madmen.
The anti-corruption agencies in Nigeria, some initiated by former President Olusegun Obasanjo,
yes.
Are they toothless dogs?
Well, I don't know, but I think to some extent EFCC is doing well. I think so. It's a perception.
Are they overwhelmed by the responsibility given to them?
Well, the problem is again what is called the Nigerian factor. You know one interesting thing about Nigeria? As we are in this room, if we hear that a thief is being taken away by a policeman, we will all be saying, ole, ole, ole. The probability is that if any of us also has opportunity of stealing, he most likely will do exactly what that thief. So there's something in the Nigerian which makes people to take, chances of trying to stupidly acquire ill-gotten wealth.
You were a minister under late President Muhammadu Buhari. In fact, some say you are one of his students, that you were in the CPC together before you matched with the ACN then, before the APC emerged. Now, do you think all ministers under Buhari's administration, for the fact that they call him the champion of anti-corruption, do you think all of them followed his mantra?
No. It's, that is most improbable. You see, it's a pity Buhari has died, and we are not supposed to say anything bad about the dead. So whatever I would say here about Buhari is just by way of historical relevance, not moral thing. I remain in saying, or I will persist in saying, Buhari was one of the most incorruptible Nigerian politicians we ever had. As an individual, he was about the most incorruptible. But it stops at that. In terms of his ability to supervise and control people under him, he was not good enough. Because we had a number of people who were his ministers who are still facing the FCC probe.
Till today?
Till now, yes.
Was he overwhelmed by the responsibility?
No, I think it was his nature. He just didn't, with due respect to him, he didn't have the capacity to, really. And it is one of the regrets I have about the Buhari government. I expected, because a lot of people who supported him in 2015 supported him because of the history he had during his military regime. At that time, a lot of people were saying it was really Tunde Idiagbon who did all the anti-corruption war. That perception has been proven right. With due respect to Buhari. Buhari is a gentleman. He just goes his own way. He doesn't disturb a fly. He doesn't, he would rather reserve things for God to punish you.
Okay, now let me ask you this question. How do you react when people say no Nigerian politician is clean?
Well, I know I'm very clean. I know myself. And I also know Buhari is very clean as an individual. If I am in control of government, nobody will have the capacity to steal under me. Because, I mean, I would take it as a very serious business. Very, very serious business. Money meant to develop society cannot be compromised by politicians. You see, when people see that they are safe under you, whatever they do, then they afford to, they take the opportunity to do whatever they like. But when they know that they are working with somebody who is prepared to disgrace you publicly, if you are caught compromising the resources of government and of the people, of course they will be very careful.
Now, some say Nigeria is corrupt by design, from procurement processes to budgeting. Do you agree with that?
Every part of procurement. Budgeting is also a part of procurement. Every part of the procurement processes is leading with, attempts and desires to take advantage because of this greed. And because I think it's a matter of God being godless. If you fear God, if you know God and you fear Him, and you know that death does not give notice, and you know that you will be questioned on whatever misdeeds you have done, I think you'll be more careful. But Nigerians don't care. And moral champions, people in the religious scene, are also complicit. Because a religious leader will be too happy to take something from what you have taken illegally.
Now, Barrister Shitu, let me ask you this question, because we are drawing close to the end of the show. Is corruption more of a political culture than a personal feeling in Nigeria?
It is a personal feeling, but it's just that people take advantage of the political environment.
Why do we keep recycling corrupt politicians?
It's not. Look, every Nigerian is potentially corrupt. That is my own perspective. You perhaps have maybe less than 5% who would have an opportunity to be corrupt and would not seize the opportunity. So it's not only in politics that people are corrupt. In the banking sector, people are corrupt. In the school system, everywhere, corruption persists.
Now, before we go, do you think or believe that citizens themselves are also complicit in sustaining corruption?
Yes.
And how can the public perception be changed?
Let me tell you, I'm a politician and I've been going all over the place to seek for political support. And when you go to most communities, instead of them to seek to commit you to doing things for them when you get to office, they would rather ask, Kile Mufumawa, what do you bring for us? At the time, they don't even know whether you will win or not. I would rather prefer that people take politicians to task and take the look. Because after all, how much do they give in this Kile Mufumawa thing? I mean, there are things that cannot really satisfy your desires for 2 or 3 days or for a week. But once they take whatever little thing you give to them, they are satisfied, they go all ahead, even if you don't have the capacity to do anything when you get to government. Now,
lastly, before we go, under a few seconds. Now, if you were president for one day with full powers, what would be your first anti-corruption action, even if it would make you enemies?
Number one, the public must be involved in the transparency process.
How?
In the sense that people would be required to give information to, transparency agencies.
Whistleblowers.
There must be whistleblowers.
The Buhari administration introduced it. It didn't work.
No, because it was not seriously, pursuing it. It did not pursue it seriously. Because everything must be in the public space.
Thank you, Honorable Barrister Abdurrahim Adebayo Shitu, for joining us in the studio.
It's my pleasure.
We are still going to have a more robust conversation as regards the situation in the country. There are insinuations that you want to become governor. We'll talk about that someday.
It's not insinuation. I want to become governor.
We'll talk about that one day.
I know that I'm the most capable.
You have been doing consultations.
I am in the public space.
We'll talk about it someday. Thank you for joining us and for honoring this invite.
By the grace of God.
Now, as we draw the curtains on this edition of the Poliscope, one truth remains clear. Waste and misappropriation in governance are not mere administrative errors. They are crimes against the future of Nigeria. Until accountability becomes non-negotiable and patriotism outweighs party loyalty, we risk remaining a nation with potential squandered on the author of greed. I am Samson Balogun, and this has been the Poliscope, where we go beyond the headlines to confront the hard truth. Stay politically conscious, because silence is complicity. Good night. Thank you for joining us.